Okay, thank you very much, Samuel. Today, we are going to look at change of subject, and we have a question on the screen. Make H the subject of the relation A equal to square root of H squared plus R squared. Okay, let's look at how we are going to solve this question. Looking at the relation, A is equal to square root of H squared plus R squared. We want to make H the subject, which means that we want to let H stand alone. So in the first place, H is under the square root. So what we can do is to take off the square root first. How do we take the square root? We can do that by squaring both sides. You square the left-hand side, and then you square the right-hand side. Now, when you do the squaring, the square root will be taken off. So you have on the left-hand side, H squared equal to H squared plus R squared. As I said, we want H to stand alone. Now, on the right-hand side, we have R squared. So what we can do is to take R squared to the left-hand side by subtracting R squared on both sides. When you do that, on the left-hand side, we have A squared minus R squared equal to H squared. We want to make H the subject, not H squared. So on the right-hand side, we need to take off the square. How do we take the square? You take the square root on both sides. When you do that, the square on H will disappear. Have H squared on the left-hand side, A squared minus R squared equal to H. So that is going to be our answer. So we have been able to make H the subject of the relation. You can rewrite it and bring H to the right-hand side. Our next question is, make Y the subject of the relation M over N minus Y equal to N over M plus Y. Two expressions here, one on the left-hand side, another on the right-hand side of the equal sign. Now, to start solving this, we can do cross multiplication. You can cross multiply, right? Yes. That on the left-hand side, we have M times M plus Y equal to N times, into brackets, N minus Y. The next step, we have to expand because we want to make Y to stand alone. From the look of things, we have Y on the left-hand side and at the same time, another Y on the right-hand side. So let's open up the brackets and rearrange them. So we have M times M, which is M squared on the left-hand side. And then M times Y, My equal to N times N, which is N squared, minus N times Y, which is Ny. Don't forget that we have been asked to make Y the subject. So we, on the left-hand side, we have My, we have Y here, and then on the right-hand side, we have another Y. So what we can do is to group them, put them together, put all the y's together. So we have, and then we send m squared to the right-hand side. So we have my on the left-hand side. Yes, we take ny to the right-hand side. Ny, good, equal to, then on the right-hand side, you write n squared first. And then we send m squared to the right-hand side. It's positive here. When it crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative. So we have n squared minus m squared. Factorize y. Yes. Out. Plus n. Then you close the bracket, equal to n squared minus m squared. The question is, we want to make y to stand alone. So we have on the left-hand side y times m plus n. So what we can do is to divide both sides by m plus n. So on the left-hand side, m plus n will cancel m plus n, making y to stand alone. The right-hand side, n squared minus m squared all over m plus n. Some student may stop here, but that is not over yet. But looking at the expression at the numerator, we have n squared minus m squared. This gives you difference of two squares. So we can factorize the numerator. So we have y equal to, and this will be n plus m in one bracket times minus m in another bracket over m plus n. Now looking at properties of operation, we have commutative property. N plus m is the same as m plus n. We can cancel n plus m, and then yes. So we now have y equal to n minus m. So you have to be very careful. You need to simplify the expression to the latter. So anytime you are solving a question, make sure you simplify it to the lowest form. Okay, we have another question. Make m the subject of the relation to mt over d, bracket open, m plus p, bracket close. With this, we can quickly do cross multiplication. This is on the left-hand side is over 1. Okay, so let's cross multiply. You cross your hands like this. You are going to have h d, bracket open, m plus p equal to mt. I've told you that you shouldn't forget about what you have been asked to make the subject. So at every step, you keep in mind that we have to make m the subject. So on the left-hand side, let's open the bracket. hd times m, we have hdm plus hdp. Yes. Equal to MT. Yes. Now we have one M on the right hand side of the equal sign, and then another M on the left. So what we can simply do is to put them together. So we can send this one to the right hand side. So on the left, when we send HDM to the right hand side, let's see what will happen. So on the left, it will be left with HDP equal to MT minus, remember, it's positive here. So when it crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative. Okay, so on the right-hand side, we are looking for M. So we can factorize M because M is common in each of the terms on the right-hand side. So HDP equal to M out, bracket open, to be left with T minus HG. We want to find M. So what we can do is to divide both sides by T minus HD. T minus HD. Put this one in bracket, the denominator. Yes, so that you can easily cancel them. Good. So we can cancel the brackets. So on the left hand side, we have HDP at the numerator over T minus HD, which is equal to M. So care must be taken when you are doing the cancellation. You always have to put the expression in bracket before you cancel out. Okay, that is the answer. So M is equal to HDP over T minus HD. Good. Let's look at another question. Now, by now, you know how to make variables the subject. We want to solve another one which will involve substitution. Okay. So, looking at the screen, T is equal to square root of P minus R over P plus R. And we have been asked to express R in terms of P and T. Now, looking at the relation carefully, we realize that the variable that we want to make the subject is under the square root. So for easy manipulation, why not clear the square root first before you continue? So to do that, let's square both sides. Yes. Remember, we are squaring both sides. So whatever you do on the right-hand side, you do the same thing on the left-hand side. Now, when you square, you have, let's go to the next step. On the left-hand side, we have T squared equal to P, the square will cancel the square root over P plus R. Good. So with this, once again, on the left-hand side, we have T squared, and this is over 1. So let's do cross multiplication. To cross multiply. You cross your hands like this. Yeah. Left-hand side, we have T squared times bracket R equal to P minus R. So let's expand the left-hand side. We have T squared P plus T squared R, which is equal to P minus R. The left and then the right-hand side. We have one R here and another R at the right-hand side. So let's put them together. So let's bring the minus here to this side. So we have T squared R plus R is equal to, then we have P, and then we bring this one, T squared P minus T squared P. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we have R appear on each term. So let's factorize it. It's common. You can bring it out, R out, bracket open, T squared plus 1 equal to P minus T squared P. Okay, so to make out the subject, we can divide both sides by T squared plus 1. Put them in brackets. Good. So on the left-hand side, see, you can cancel what is in the bracket. R will be equal to P minus T squared P over T squared plus 1. Good. Now, the second part of the question states that we have to find the value of R when T is equal to 3 and P is equal to 10. This is about substitution. So wherever you see P, you place it by 10. Wherever you see T, you place it by 3. So let's go. So R becomes 10 minus 3 squared times 10 over 3 squared plus 1. So when you simplify, 10 minus 3 squared is 9 times 10 over 3 squared is 9 plus 1. Then you go to the next level. Yes. 10 minus 9 times 10 is 90 over 10. Then we subtract the numerator. 10 minus 90 is minus 80 over 10. So the zeros can cancel out. So you have R being equal to minus 80. So looking at the question that we have solved, the last one, you'll be giving some values and then you substitute. So take note of the types of questions that we have solved so far. Don't end it here. Make sure you get other questions and then solve them. Thank you very much for watching this video. And I want to urge you to subscribe. Tell your friend to subscribe. We have more videos coming up. So next time, we solve other questions. Bye-bye.